The Denver Nuggets have made a splash in free agency, and it's not just about the big trade. It's about a familiar face returning to help defend their NBA championship. This offseason, the Nuggets wasted no time getting to work, and it all started with a blockbuster trade, followed by a reunion that has fans buzzing. Stick with us as we break down what this means for Denver's chances to repeat as champions and what moves they could make next. Now, let's dive in. The Nuggets kicked off their free agency with a big move, sending Michael Porter Jr. and a 2032 unprotected first-round pick to the Brooklyn Nets in exchange for sharpshooter Cam Johnson. This trade was part of a larger strategy to revamp their roster and create a more balanced and potent lineup for next season. But that wasn't all. Less than an hour after the trade, the Nuggets wasted no time bringing back one of their key contributors from last season's championship team, Bruce Brown. Brown, who played a pivotal role as the Nuggets' sixth man during their historic 2023 title run, signed a one-year contract to return to Denver. According to the Denver Gazette, Brown will spend next season back in the Mile High City on a minimum contract, an absolute steal for the Nuggets. It's a deal that will give them much-needed depth, versatility, and championship experience as they look to defend their title. But how did we get here? Last summer, Bruce Brown left Denver to sign a 2-year, $45 million deal with the Indiana Pacers. However, Brown's time in Indiana didn't last long. He was traded to the Toronto Raptors in a blockbuster deal that sent Pascal Siakam to the Pacers. Then, just months later, the Raptors flipped Brown once again, this time to the New Orleans Pelicans in a deal that saw Brandon Ingram heading to Toronto. It's been a wild journey for Brown, but now he's back where he helped the Nuggets capture their first ever championship, and his return brings a lot of stability to the Nuggets' second unit. So, what does this mean for the Nuggets? With Brown back in the fold, Denver now has more flexibility and depth heading into next season. At the moment, they have 2 open roster spots, which gives them room to add even more talent in free agency. The Nuggets entered this offseason with 12 players already under contract, leaving them 3 full-time spots available. By trading Porter Jr. and getting under the first salary apron, Denver is now in a much better position to spend money on free agents. Speaking of which, the Nuggets now have access to the full mid-level exception worth $14.1 million, which is a huge tool for adding more talent to their roster. Prior to the trade, their best free agent tool was going to be the taxpayer mid-level exception worth just $5.7 million. So, Denver has significantly increased its cap flexibility, and they're in a great position to improve their squad. But let's not forget the players who won't be back next season. Russell Westbrook, DeAndre Jordan, and Vlatko Cancar are all free agents. Westbrook opted out of his player option for the upcoming season, making him an unrestricted free agent. Jordan and Cancar's contracts also expired at the end of the season. While it remains to be seen where Westbrook will land, rumors are swirling about the Kings and Knicks showing interest in the former MVP. The Nuggets will need to look for replacements or upgrades for these spots. In terms of salary cap news, the NBA recently announced the salary cap for next season will be set at $154.6 million, a 10% increase from last season. This is the maximum allowed under the new collective bargaining agreement. The first salary apron will be at $195.9 million, and teams exceeding that will face second apron penalties starting at $207.8 million. Now, before free agency even kicked off, a few big names made their decisions. LeBron James opted into his $52.6 million player option for next season, keeping him in Los Angeles. Meanwhile, players like James Harden of the Clippers, Julius Randle of the Timberwolves, and Naz Reid also inked contract extensions with their current teams, effectively removing them from the free agent market. And don't forget Kyrie Irving, who had already agreed to return to the Dallas Mavericks, further thinning out the pool of available star players. But here's where it gets interesting. DeAndre Ayton, the former #1 pick, first overall pick, became a surprise addition to the free agent pool after reaching a contract buyout with the Portland Trail Blazers. Ayton is now free to sign with any team once he clears waivers on Wednesday afternoon. This is one of the rare instances where a player with Ayton's talent at just 25 years old is available on the market. Could he be a potential target for the Nuggets? While their front court is already stacked with MVP Nikola Jokic, adding a player of Ayton's caliber could give them even more firepower.